Welcome to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, home of the Panthers, in a program built on the backs of legends like Tony Dorsett, Hugh Green, Mark May, and Mike Ditka. Give it the toughness that is epitomized by anyone who plays in the Steel City. We've got a top 25 matchup on hand. Two of the premier teams in the land looking to make a statement that will resonate. As we'll see, the number 13 team in the country, the Florida Gators, taking on the 24th ranked team in the land, the Pittsburgh Panthers. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Time to get this game started. Pitt lined up, ready for the opening kickoff as we get things underway. Not going to risk a return here. He'll make the fair catch. So the Florida Gators offense will take the first swing of the game. And there he is. When you build a tight end, you build one just like this, especially with those reliable mitts, Jesse.
Yeah, Reese, he makes big plays in big games. Watch for him on third down in the red zone. He has a chance to leave an impact in this game.
Well, it's so nice to have such a big body that when he's covered, he's open, right? Like, it doesn't matter because he's got great hands and that big frame he can really utilize.
This guy's got a lot of tools in his toolbox toting the rock band. He showed you right there. And when I think back to Florida running backs, Emmitt Smith, all-time great. But a guy I played with in Gainesville, Fred Taylor. He was so big, but so fast for a guy his size. He just caused so many problems for the defenses we faced. And I think in the SEC today, you have got to be able to run the football if you're going to win games. And this guy right here, he's going to give the Gators a chance.
Turns it on in midfield. He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a first down. The Gators come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Going to the running game. He'll take 4 yards on first down every time, 2nd and 6. This is the kind of game, a top 25 matchup in the early season, that you look for when you're trying to build your resume.
Yeah, these are so fun because as a player, you kind of get bored if you don't get challenged. But when you got an early season challenge like this, all the adrenaline, all the juice, Palmer, you're ready to rock and roll.
I love this. We've had this game circled for a long time because we learn a lot in these types of games. What are these teams about? Which conferences are better? You're going to get a lot of answers today.
And a pickup of 8 opens a world of opportunities on 2nd and 2. Kept it on the ground on first down, now back to the line. Power football with the run. Finds a little bit of room. Give him a couple down to the 23.
Man, that D-tackle is a freak athlete. Did you see him come out of his stance and beat the offensive lineman, getting to the running back? Cat-like quickness.
On 3rd and short, they'll try to pick it up on the ground here. And he'll be taken down, but he does have enough for the first down.
This offense knew coming into this one, guys, how important it was to start early. And on this opening drive for them, they're doing a nice job running the football there on 3rd down. They're in a position on the field now. If you're on defense, you got to be ready for a shot throw into the end zone.
Great job by the offense. Listen, if the defense is going to sit back in zone, you know what you got to do. Run those crossers across the formation. Those guys that are looking at the quarterback, they're not trying to pick up receivers all the time. Make those precise throws, right in those holes, get those first downs, get those big cheeks.
This offensive line better figure out a plan for this D-tackle. He is tough to block with one guy. You might want to start double-teaming him. He's going to be a problem moving forward. You saw all of his ability on that last one.
They pushed it ahead to the 4. They'll try to cash in on 2nd and goal. And you want to talk about gang tackling. Everybody on the defense run to the ball.
I think coming into this season, they thought in order to have success, we have got to be able to run the ball and get this guy going. He hasn't scored yet this year, but a golden opportunity right now to finally break the seal.
They keep pushing forward down to the 3, but now it's 3rd and goal. Trying to barge their way in. And he's a real nowhere man tackled in this no-gain land.
Man, it has been a long drive offensively. I just feel like you got to pay this off and be aggressive. You're down close. Punch it in for a touchdown here, Pollard.
Yeah, and inside the 3-yard line, I think I might try to finish this off with a touchdown. I ate up a ton of clock, wore these guys out. Now they'd have to go the length of the field if I missed.
Quick pass on the fly motion. And he won't get there. Trying to turn the corner, strained for every inch, and he is denied. So Pittsburgh's offense headed onto the field. Our first look at them today. When a guy gets off the ball as quickly as he does, you know he's going to be breathing down your neck, and you got to get rid of it, Jesse.
This quarterback's good, but he better have a clock going off in his head. He knows he's not going to have a lot of time to get rid of the football. That's a big matchup in this game.
Well, and that's what I love about this guy, because he affects the quarterback whether he gets to him or not. He knows he's there. He's that kind of good coming off the edge. Let's see how this QB performs under pressure.
To the air, it's Holstein. Just a short pass to the tight end. And he laid the lumber to stop him from getting the first down. Secondary walks up on the line, showing press coverage. Starting to feel a little pressure.
Man, you can't draw it up any better than that. First possession, force a third down. You want to shut the home crowd up, sack the quarterback, create some momentum. Now you're getting the football back to your offense, probably with great field position.
Well, that seemed to be prime return territory, but instead he'll set the offense up with great field position. The Gators sending the offense back to work. They'll leave it with him. Runs through a tackle.
And as an offensive coordinator, you don't need the perfect play with this guy as your running back. He's going to make the play perfect for you because he makes everybody miss. Spin moves, hurdles, stiff arms, speed, whatever it takes to move the sticks and score touchdowns.
Got 8 on first down, now looking at a 2nd and 2. Fights off a defender. Trying to pound their way forward, he picks up a couple to the 31.
Yeah, and the running back didn't get much here, but, you know, you clearly want to always establish the tempo, run the football, be consistent, make that defense physically meet the challenge.
Ball at the 31, 3rd and short, coming defense trying to rise up. They'll try to move the chains on the ground. Offenses gain momentum with 3rd down conversions like that. They've got it at the 25.
You know, you start day 1 of training camp running your base runs. You need a few yards, you run these plays. You need a first down, you run these plays. You rep them over and over and over again. They're not sexy, they're not pretty, but in the end, they're effective, and they get you that new set of downs when you need them.
They pick up the first down on the drag route. I know that seems like a simple route, but it's actually a lot more complex than what it looks like because that route changes based on whether it's man or zone. If it's man coverage, he's flying across the field. If it's zone, he's got to sit down over the ball in a soft spot, giving his quarterback a place to go with it. Nice job of those guys being on the same page there.
They'll line up for a 2nd down play. Looking downfield, it's Lagway. Quickly complete. They make the stop, and that's how the first quarter will end. Defense has dominated the early part of this game, and the stats point that out emphatically. Sometimes you see the offenses sort of settle in, find areas to probe after that first quarter. They'll try to open this quarter by sticking it in the end zone here. A first down run on the doorstep. He works his way ever closer all the way down to the 1-yard line.
Well, with this situation on the field, this defense has their hands full because this running back just seems to have the nose for the end zone. Of course, he scored his last time out. He's really good down here close to the goal line finding creases. It's looking like they're going to have to try to throw this one into the end zone here on 3rd down, David. Quarterback's got to be careful. Can't get greedy because you know these windows, they close fast.
Extremely tight windows. Find your big body guys that you know can win.
And he's loose, and he'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Gator! Well, that didn't necessarily go as planned, but it was most effective in the end.
I love it, Reese. Down in the red zone, this quarterback didn't have anybody open. Didn't panic. He just decided, man, I'm going to go do this myself. I'm going to use my wheels and put up 6 on the board. He did just that.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the PAT makes it 7-0. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Week in and week out, guys, you never know what's going to happen in college football. Check this out. Clemson is currently ahead early right now in Death Valley, but they just haven't been able to separate themselves offensively. They're up by 7 over Georgia Southern. We promise to keep you posted on what goes down in this exciting college football matchup.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3. The Panthers will hustle to the line. Looking downfield, it's Holstein. Finds the tight end. And that was some kind of collision between a couple of big bodies there, and he stopped from getting the first down. Trying to move the sticks on 3rd down through the air. Got his man. And he's to the 48-yard line. That'll be good enough for a first down. And the Panthers come to the line with a new set of downs. The give to the tailback. And he's able to shed 1 tackle and gets a pretty good pickup. Got 6 on first down. Now a lot of options on 2nd and 4. These two conferences largely share the same geographic footprint, and the ACC loves it when they can take down a team from the SEC.
And we see these two conferences play each other oftentimes early in the season, late in the season. David, think about Clemson, South Carolina, Florida, Florida State. These players have a lot of familiarity with one another.
And this already matters.
And the quarterback bought some time, but not enough. Down he goes with the sack. He was lurking, waiting for his opportunity, and like a gator in the swamp, he went into the roll and got that quarterback.
They did. I tell you what, when you want to be dominant in this league, if Florida wants to get back to being a dominant team, it's got to be guys like this in the trenches dominating football games.
On first down from the 13-yard line. Run in the red zone. It's Goff. And they try to run inside, and there is nowhere to go. Going to work in the red zone, they can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. Right back to him on the ground. And he runs it all the way down to the 3 before they get him.
Well, the defense wasn't expecting that. They had a lot of guys back into coverage. That was 2nd and a lot of yards to go, and they got caught off guard. Not enough guys in the box to control that running back.
Got it! They will score! Touchdown, Panthers!
And what a nice start for this offense. The throw game getting working, getting the touchdown pass. This quarterback getting a little bit of confidence. This passing game getting in a rhythm. Nice start for this offense.
After that latest answer tied things up, just about set to kick it away again. And he takes this from inside the 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. Florida has the ball back, and here comes the offense. After standing on the sideline and watching that long touchdown drive, they really need to put something together to give their defense a rest.
And that's a real thing, man. Like, you played a lot of plays, you get worn out, you need a chance to go decompress on the sideline, get some oxygen. Palmer, now it's on this offense.
Yeah, this is the definition of complementary football because it's a two-pronged problem. You've got to score points and answer, but you've also got to take your time and give your defense an opportunity to get their win.
They'll snap it on first down from the 35. Use the play fake, now to throw. On the run, fires downfield. He's got it. Finally run out of bounds, but he has this offense rolling with a first down. They'll try the run. They'll pick up 4, 2nd and 6 coming.
Nice run there on first down. You know this is a running back that gets better as the game goes on. So they're going to want to make sure they keep feeding him the football, let him get laddered up.
To the air, it's Lagway. And it'll be incomplete. This is some physical pass defense.
And the big tight end, a lot of times that's a bigger strike zone, a bigger dude, and you can tell they put the hit on him, and that ball came out, and it came to the turf. Nice job playing physical by this defense.
3rd down conversions are huge, and they've got one, and they're at the 35.
Well, that's kind of the advantage of 3rd and medium, right? Is the defense, you keep them guessing. You can throw it, you can run it. That time to hand it off, and they pick it up.
Yeah, and you can see the D drop back a little bit. It creates a little bit of space. The running back blasts through, gets the first down.
9-yard pickup on first down, and now they can take a shot on 2nd and short. The give to the lone running back. The Gators will have a first down. Mr. Two Bits would be proud. The Gators standing up and hollering for a first down.
How does that cheer go?
Well, first you have to have the yellow shirt and the striped tie and go 2 bits, 4 bits, 6 bits, $1, all for the Gators. Stand up and holler. It's complete to the right.
That's a good job by the drag route there, understanding its zone coverage. So instead of continuing to run across the field, he settles down into an open spot, making it easy for his quarterback.
Give to the running back. And they try the middle of this defense, and that is not happening. Got to get to the line quickly for this third down play. Looking to throw for it. He looks that one in nicely. Couldn't quite nudge it in. Not sure you could get much closer, but it'll be first and goal. Clock stops momentarily for the first down. They'll hurry to the line. They'll try to power it in. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Florida!
And the offense punches it in again, and we call his name again. That's 2 touchdowns now in 2 games with still more to be played. I tell you what, I think this guy's name will be called a lot more throughout the season. He's that kind of good.
And the PAT gives them a 14-7 lead. They put it in the end zone with a 12-play scoring drive. And they close the deal, pushing their way inches into the end zone. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. The Pittsburgh offense is back on the field. So late in the half, this is really an opportunity, David, maybe to swing the momentum in. And the pass hits, picked off. Got some room to run. And just an outstanding return. Takes it back to the 7-yard line.
I'll tell you what, defensive players don't always see where the ball is. They see the receiver and they get to chase him, but really good job seeing where the receiver is, going and making an interception, making a big play, getting the ball back to your offense.
And the Gators trying to pay off the threat on first and goal. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces second down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. Looking to throw, it's Lagway. And it'll be incomplete. This defense is physical in pass deep. They love to make this short field pay off with a touchdown instead of a field goal, but it's third and goal. Let's it fly. They intercept it. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick. Never a good time for a turnover, but it always seems a little worse when you're about to knock on the door of the end zone.
No doubt about it. And it's this area of the field, Reese, where your execution really has to be great. Because down in the red zone, the windows to throw into it for a quarterback are smaller, and they close a lot quicker. So you really have to be on the same page as your wide receiver. And that time, the offense and the QB simply were
Makes the grab. It's Cook. And makes the tackle at the 23 after he got 10. That's going to wrap up the first half here. And now we join Kevin with the halftime update.
Fellas, you've been calling a first-rate game so far today in Pittsburgh. And we've got to start our halftime breakdown with this superstar running back. His elusiveness, his raw power. This young man is the total package. And his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield is a differentiator. A lot of guys can hit the hole. This kid can hit the hole and hit the home run in the passing game.
And they thought about a return, then thought better of it. They'll bring it out to the 25. The Pitt offense back on the field and ready to roll. They start this third quarter one-possession game and hoping to get an early drive going.
This offense is ready, and they're ready to take the field here and see if they can get something established. They don't have to change everything and reinvent the wheel. They've had some successes in the first half, so let's get that continued here on the opening drive.
Yeah, and I love getting that break at half to go talk with my coaches and pick my offensive coordinator's brain so I know.
Afterburner's coming. He's at the 10. And he got away from the defense and takes it in. Touchdown, Panthers!
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge. And
oh, they block it. He's got a chance to take this one back. What a display of explosive capabilities on that drive. 75 yards, 2 plays, and a touchdown. They had the extra point blocked. Now the kickoff unit out there and hoping things go a little smoother. On the run from inside his own 5. And he's able to pick his way through the traffic nicely for a good return on that one before he's brought down. The Gators sending the offense back to work. They'll run it from the gun. They finally make the stop, but the big run is played. Sticks for the first down.
And David, how demoralizing does it have to be for a defense when you know they're going to run it, everyone in the stadium knows they're going to run it, and still you cannot stop it?
there's nothing more demoralizing as a defensive lineman because it ticks you off. It gets in your head. You know that guy's going to come off and smack you, and you got to do something about it. I think the defense maybe time to start committing more guys to stopping that run.
And the ball comes out. What a disastrous play. Defense just cradling that fumble and... And he's brought down, and this defense gets the ball back for its own. We've got a timeout here as this coach is challenging the call. He wants to give the replay booth a chance to have another look. And how about the keen eyes and sharp awareness from the coach to challenge that call, and the officials agree it'll go his way. This is a 3rd and long. Looking to throw, and he needs a chunk play. He finds his man. And he's not going to make it. The defense denying him the first down. The Gators will bring the punt team onto the field. The punter going to get his first work of the afternoon. Fair catch called for, but a flag is on the field. Let's see what that's about.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. So the offense keeps its drive alive thanks to the roughing the punter penalty. They go to the ground. Just a solid stop by this sophomore.
And these defensive tackles just eat people. They swallow human beings when you get near them. They're so big, so strong. Those guys, those running backs coming, they just need a mitt. They put one mitt on a running back, and he usually falls to the ground just because of their sheer mass and strength.
Good little pickup there as he saw some daylight and got what he could.
Well, great job there by the defense because they weren't able to get him sacked right away, but you saw the coverage in the back end. Nowhere for the quarterback to throw the football. Didn't get the sack, obviously. You don't get the negative play, but you also don't give up a big one. You're feeling pretty good about where you are right now in this drive.
Got away from trouble and got rid of it. Zings it complete to the right. They'll pick up enough yardage for the first down. They've got it at the 30. These two guys, just on the same wavelength, they make clutch connections all the time.
And that's practice, man. That's all summer. That's all spring. Just so many hundreds and thousands of balls where you know exactly when that guy's going to break. You know he's a stud. You're going to feed him, especially on these third down situations.
They're getting this guy lathered up. They get him stopped after a 2-yard gain. Ball's at the 17.
They're strong, and they're strong. Defensive tackles, they're strong. They're such big jokers in the middle where they just lock out those offensive linemen. And running backs, listen, they don't have much of a chance. When you got that 300-plus-pound guy grabbing you around the shoulder pad, you tend to go to the ground pretty quickly.
The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. Ninth play of the drive coming up, but this one will be tough. 3rd and long. Quarterback extends the play. He throws one to the left. Touchdown, Gators! And they'll put that scoreboard operator to work and put 6 on the board. That touchdown was a clinic in keeping your offense on the field and wearing the other defense out.
Sometimes your best defense is your own offense, being able to stay on the field. You're absolutely right, Reese. That was a clinic. Running the ball, playing at great rhythm and pace, QB making good, smart decisions, and not shooting yourselves in the foot. No penalties, no turnovers. It doesn't get any better than that last drive.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Pittsburgh offense is back on the field. Now they need to put something together to answer that last score.
There's a lot of pressure, too, on this offense to have to execute at a high level. They've got to score points, David, but they can't go too fast because their defense right now is tired.
And I think that's the difficulty being a play caller. Like, I have to balance all of those things. My defense is a little bit tired. I can't put on the field, but I got to be aggressive because this is a back-and-forth type game, so a lot to process and think about.
Pass on the way. It's picked off. Takes it the other way. The 30. Able to stay on his feet and get the ball to the 21-yard line.
And that's why as quarterbacks, you cannot telegraph the pass. You cannot stare down your receivers because these defenders, they're watching you. And that defender knew exactly where the QB was going with that football, and that's why he picked it off.
Looking for space. It's Daniels. He's brought down, but not before they pick up the big first down.
And I don't care if I get it by 2, by 20, by 30, by 40. I just want to get the first down, understanding the situation, understanding where the sticks are. Doesn't have to be sexy, but I got to make sure I get to that stick, get to the first down.
2nd down coming up on this red zone opportunity. They're going to run it. They'll wrestle him down just short of the first down. I don't even think they're going to bring out the chains to measure this. Not a lot of ground to cover and not much to defend. A big 3rd down in the red zone. They'll try to pick it up on the ground. Going right back to the well, and this time he finds water. Gets it into the end zone for the touchdown. Well, just as you would expect, that didn't take very long.
It didn't, Reese, and you've got to make great field position count. When you've got opportunities, you got to pay it off. And the offense took advantage, scoring a touchdown. Didn't have far to go, but they got the points they needed.
Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Terrific showdown this week, guys. Let's take a look at what's going on. East Carolina is lighting up the scoreboard behind an offense that looks just about as good as we've ever seen in Greenville. They're up by 35 over Appalachian State. Any big developments in this one, we've got you covered with the best studio team in the business, gentlemen.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. Not much doing there. He gets it to the 26, a gain of 1. Hit right back to the line. Back to pass, it's Holstein. He's got his man. There to make the tackle, but the big throw is good enough to give him a first down. And now a fresh set of downs for this offense.
And a great job by the QB, finding the running back, getting the football where he can do some damage after the catch, and most importantly, get the first down.
And he'll pick up 1. It brings up 2nd and 9. Quick tempo here for the offense. On 2nd down, looking again to throw. And they got him. He'll get him down for the sack.
And how about the defense getting home with the pass rush? Playing man coverage in the back end. You need to win up front. Those guys got to get to the quarterback. Do a great job rushing the passer. I can play man when I got a pass rush like that.
Smart move to get down with the slide.
It's a little demoralizing, too, I think, if you're on defense, because it looked like you had him, right? It's 3rd down. Everybody's getting ready for a big sack. They're pinning their ears back, trying to get upfield. You just can't make the play. Quarterback's able to escape. He doesn't get the first down, but he did get nice yardage, so I'm curious to see what they do here on 4th.
Florida has the ball back, and here comes the offense. This offense has really been clicking in the game so far, Jesse.
No doubt. Everything their play caller is dialing up, these guys offensively have been able to go out and execute.
Yeah, and it's just maintaining the lead. Keep doing what you've been doing. You got a big lead. Let's just keep piling it on until they find an answer.
Nice move to keep moving. And after a very short pickup on that run, we have come to the end of the third quarter. We've come to the end of the quarter, and it's Florida on top. They built a comfortable lead after 3 quarters of play. Let's take a look at how we got here. One more period to go, and we'll see just how much fight they've got left in them. They've changed into the field, now facing third down as they go back to work. To the ground to try to pick up the first. And he's knocked down, but not before moving the chains.
It's a point in the game, I think, as a coaching staff where you really challenge your offensive line to go win the football game, right? We've got to lead late. We're going to run the football. And the defense and everybody in the stadium knows that's what's going to happen. Can we run the ball down their throats and impose our will? That's what this offense right now is trying to do.
I know it's sexy to throw the football, but if you can pound it away and get these kind of gains, they will just add up, wear the defense down, get first downs, and ultimately get some points.
6-yard pickup on first down leaves him with 2nd and 4. Leaves it with the running back. Dances away from the D. And he picks up a first down. That is not a flag on the play. It's just lingerie on the deck after that move. The Gators are flying down the field. Got him downfield. And he almost ran away from everybody on that one. A huge pickup on that play.
I tell you, I love the mentality by this offense right now. They've got a pretty big lead. They're still being aggressive, taking shots, and they're finding the matchups they like. Man, they're taking advantage right now.
Running it in the red zone, imposing their will and picking up 5 down to the 15.
I think you have to like what you see if you're the coaching staff here. Your offense is on the field, and it looks like you got a pretty good drive going, and you're just going to try and keep this thing marching, keep the clock ticking. You've got a really nice lead here late. Just want to find ways to keep the chains moving. They're doing it.
8th play of the drive, and to keep this one going, they'll need to convert a 3rd and 5. Looking to pass. It's Lagway. Quarterback strolling away from Heat. And he can't find a receiver, and down he goes. They'll try to get something out of this drive and kick the field goal here on 4th down. It is perfect. And that will extend their lead even further.
That makes the score Florida 31, Pitt 13.
They keep pushing that lead out, and the kickoff team's getting some work. He'll bring it out. It's Robinson. Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13. The Pitt offense back on the field and ready to roll. They hope to be able to cash in on this drive, David, after having to punt it last time.
Yeah, and I think this offense needs to start it with the first play. You need to be successful and productive on that first play, and it gets you in less predictable situations.
No doubt, too. And don't you just feel like there's a little bit more sense of urgency on this drive? It just feels like they've got to be able to put some points up on the board.
Pitt pushing the pace.
Yeah, and this offense has to find a way to run the football. They got to get more creative, but whatever that looks like for this offense, something to jumpstart them because nothing really going on the ground.
Yeah, defensively, though, you got to give them credit, too, because they knew that physically they were going to try to reach.
And it's picked off for the 3rd time today.
And as a defensive lineman late in the game, man, when you know it's past, you're pinning your ears back, trying to get to the quarterback, and DBs are trying to do this. Pad them stats, get the INT. Nice job by this D.
Nose is ahead to the 30-yard line, a pickup of 1.
Second down.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Wide receiver now comes in motion. Dropping back, it's Lagway. Throws to the tight end. Got his man to the left. They make the stop, but not before he sets them up with a 1st and goal from the 10. Defense is backed up. Shadow of the goalpost trying to defend their own end zone. They'll use the running game on 1st and goal. Touchdown, Florida! And the route is on.
And this offense looking more and more like themselves. This is what we're accustomed to seeing. Last week, more of a blip, right? 0-1 to start the season. Kind of had some bad vibes, some bad mojo. Bounced right back, putting up a ton of points. And this one is all but over. 1-1 is here for this team.
Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. And they desperately wanted to attempt a return, but decided not to. Instead, they'll take the touchback. 1st down here for the offense.
29 Philly. 2-3.
He's going to pass. Pressure coming. Buys a little extra time. And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack.
And I tell you what, this defense, they've heard all about how great this quarterback is. They came in today with a mission, with a purpose. They've been flying around, harassing him, and making life so hard on this offense.
They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks. Ball's at the 27. This offense facing a 3rd and long. Pocket starts to collapse. And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack.
We've seen throughout the course of the season, defenses have had their hands full with this quarterback. He's simply one of the best in the country. But what can you say about this defense here today? They have gotten after him, registering multiple sacks, and they've never let him get into a rhythm.
And it's incomplete, and the defense holds.
I'll tell you, man, analytics in college football now are changing the way coaches think about down and distances. And listen, I know there are probably some metrics out there that say you should go for it in that situation because the percentages are telling you you got a good shot at keeping the football and keeping possession. That time, though, they're not able to come up with it. They've now given up the football with their backs to the wall. The defense now is going to have to dig him out of this hole.
And he's tackled, but there's also a flag on the field. Let's see what the call is.
Holding. Offense.
They say you could call holding on every play. Well, they did on that one. This offense has a 2nd down play. They'll try to keep this clock moving on the ground. That is exactly what you're looking for when you talk explosive plays. The defense finally able to make the stop. And the Gators have it with a 1st and goal. Motion from the offense. They'll dial up the run on 1st and goal. He bullies his way all the way down to the 5-yard line.
And I'm a fan of this, man. Run the football, the clock. We got the lead. This offense has put together a nice day, man. Like, just balance, rhythm, timing, play calling, everything has worked. That's why they built this lead. They've had a great day today.
He pushes his way down to the 4 as they get closer and closer. Let's see what the offense dials up on 3rd and goal. Back to throw, it's Lagway. And the pressure gets him back at the 8-yard line. Timeout is called with just a single second left. And after this play, the cake will be baked. They weren't able to get that one off. It'll be a delay of game.
Delay of game. Offense.
That is a completely avoidable penalty. The quarterback just went into brain lock and lost track of the play clock. They'll try to tack on a little extra to this lead with a touchdown here on 4th and goal. They want to throw it. Fires into traffic, picked off. Got room on the return. Inside the 40. Past the 30. He's at the 20. And he's going to run it all the way back. Touchdown, Pitt.
And Man, this defense has had a rough day, but how about this play? Breaking on the football, making the pick, taking it to the house. They can build some momentum for some future games.
And he splits the uprights on the extra point. Winning those individual 6-second battles every play, time after time after time after time, and that leads to a victory here.
And I love when teams go out and play like it's sudden death. Like if they lose the game, their entire season is over. This game wasn't for the national championship.